Hi, and welcome to Dogman TP Hunting. And if you're listening on a podcast, it'll be the Interdimensional Voyagers podcast. And today I've got a guest who I went to visit recently up at Cannock Chase, and he lives up that way. And he's a investigator. Um, of primarily of a ghost investigator. But he's sent me in the past and just recently some photos and video. Uh, and after meeting him up there, I do actually believe that uh, he has found evidence that there is definitely cryptids like Dogman and Bigfoot up that way, which we already knew, let's face it. So, okay, right, I'm going to start this off and get him up on the stage when we come back. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, right. And I'd like to introduce to you Stuart from Paranormal Walks. It's on YouTube and is also on Facebook as well. Really nice
Yo,
guy. Hi, how you doing, Stuart?
I'm all good, mate. Are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen tonight, to be honest.
No, it's all good, mate. It's all good.
Yeah, it's okay then. That's good. Yeah, at least we're here. I was watching a little bit earlier. I was watching on TV about the Olympics, the start of the Olympics. What a absolute, just it looked like carnage. It looked like I thought it was they had like get Lady Gaga, that I thought was Lady Gaga coming down the staircase singing in amongst these dancers with permanent grins on their faces, uh, semi hiding her in pink feathers. And then she went and played like chopsticks on a piano that you couldn't hear anyway. Get this, right? Okay, yeah, like this is how disjointed it was. They then had a guy doing uh, parkour over the rooftops of
All right.
France in Paris, and if it was anyone else, they'd be done. He had no safety harness on, and in light of I think there's too much political correctness anyway nowadays, but for primetime TV before Watershed, you've got him prancing over rooftops in the wet, holding a flaming torch. Um, uh,
Oh, was he the torchbearer? Was he?
yeah, he was a torchbearer.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate.
and then guess what? Right, Steve, that this it looked like some pantomime cutout ship going along the road. It's all happened along the Seine, all along the river, and had not for singing, and basically in the window of the building behind there was lots of you would have loved it. You would have loved it. Loads of women with their heads chopped off, holding their heads in front of their chests, and you could see on their neck it was all like kind of bloodied, and you could see where the spine had been and everything else, and they were singing as well. The headless heads or the bodiless heads were singing as well.
What's that got to do with the Olympics, mate?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It needed investigation there. It's just like really
Wow.
ever so just a typical. It's almost like they had too much money and they didn't have enough kind of like guidance. It's like, right, I'll tell you what we'll do next. You remember, did you ever see Mad Max, the new Mad Max film? Not Furiosa, but the one before, the remake with Tom Hardy.
No, I haven't. No.
right, on trailers, it's got one part of it is where these guys chasing him are on these long poles, and these poles bend, and they kind of like bend towards his truck and then bend back again. So if you like, they're swinging on this pole, and they had
Yeah.
dancers on this Olympics thing as well on the top of poles. And there was one guy, and he was going absolutely crackers. I thought he was going to nut himself on the ground. He was going over that much on the pole. It was like kind of just politically incorrect, bizarre, and just weird. Then it looked like they set light to a building with fireworks. Oh, and the people from all different countries participating were on boats. Okay, so they're going along on a boat, and then not one of them had a life jacket on. Not one life jacket, not one. All waving flags, of the different countries and stuff. And he had all different types of boats. So they started running out of the bigger boats. So they brought in like kind of the smaller boat. I didn't see England come up. We're probably on a lilo or a dinghy.
Probably a dinghy, mate. More like a dinghy.
Yeah, but no, really bizarre. Ever so bizarre. But yeah, still, it was really, really good.
I've not seen it even advertised at the Olympics, mate.
No, it's one of these things where it wasn't. My missus told me about it. I would have completely forgotten. There was no billboards anywhere that I could see, or I didn't hear about it on the radio like here. I didn't
No?
really hear about it. I thought, oh, I don't know what's going on. And she said about it, and yeah, it was quite jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Quite jaw dropping. Yeah, I mean, it makes this look really professional and organized. That's how bad it was.
It ain't that bad, mate.
Yeah, so yeah. Right, just to recap, Stuart has got a Facebook page which you can join. It's not a public one, it's a private one, but it's well worth a visit, having a look, and putting your name forward to join, called Paranormal Walks. He has quite a few members now, and it's great if you're into the paranormal, which we all are. Brilliant, brilliant. I remember joining quite early on. I think I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great, and the people there, the community is really good.
Very
And
nice
they're
people, aren't they?
very nice, really nice. Because you get some groups where you go on, and if you post something, you just get a barrage of berated comments. No, it's not this. No, it's not. You don't know what you're doing. No, the camera's camouflage. But you don't get any of that on yours at all.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cool. That is.
YouTube as well. Stuart's on YouTube once again. Paranormal Walks. He's got some great. Now, primarily, he does do ghost investigations, and he's got some brilliant. There's one I was looking through. I got it here actually. I did kind of like screen record one of your videos. I had to, because it's one where you're walking through the forest at
Okay.
night, and you can hear something. Shall I play it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I think I know which one. I think I know which one you mean, but
Yeah.
it may be a number of one of three.
Okay. When I play it, our mics will go quiet, dead,
Yeah.
but you'll hear the video. Okay, here we go.
Problem.
All right, here we go, everyone.
Drone here. What the? Something's right.
Right, that was footsteps, wasn't it?
Mate, if I'm being honest, it sounded like somebody walking inside of me, coming towards me.
Yeah.
I felt uneasy at that point. I felt really uneasy. Let me start again. So you got Castle Ring, right? You've got the top ring, which is the Victorian original pathway, which they've just kept maintaining. You've also got the lower path, and I think I said to you when we met up, Phil, I don't think Castle Ring itself, inside the ring, is haunted. I really don't. I've never felt. I feel quite calm in there. Every time I go in there, the wind drops off. It's nice. It's nice, Castle Ring. But the outskirts is a completely different story. Completely. That was on the lower part of the ring. And I normally take the dog up. I just don't. I don't normally record. But I thought. I never took the dog up. I should have done thinking about it, because if it was a rat or anything else, he may have picked up on it. Who knows? Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I could hear the footsteps quite. I turned the volume right up, and I could hear them, and I think people at home also could hear them. They're bipedal, and does it ever? Do you ever? I mean, I go. I'm open to the paranormal, full stop, and I'm also open very much because I've had a lot to do. As you know, when we met up, we had a long discussion with Dogman, cryptids, and stuff. Do you ever entertain the fact that it could be maybe a cryptid that is following you, because it is bipedal? It is two feet.
Yeah, I'm open to anything, like you say, mate. I'm exactly like you. I'm open to anything. Discuss anything. But yeah, sure. But personally, I think I would see something if it was a beast, or some sort of beast or something.
Did you? Your dog was with you, was he?
No, he wasn't with me at that time. No.
No.
I know.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah. But no, that was, I heard that, and that was really like kind of just fascinating when I heard that.
Yeah, my reaction is like, I sound silly as anything, but that's my honest reaction on what happened at that time.
Yeah.
It's quite embarrassing thinking about it.
Scary. I mean, when you hear footsteps, that was definitely footsteps, and close by as well, weren't they?
It was literally right next to me. It felt like it got louder towards it as it got towards me.
Yeah. So I've got a question for you, and I hadn't thought of this question really. It wasn't until I was talking to Kerry yesterday from Seventh Sanctum. She came on, and we were having a chat, and she had a guy, I think it was, who messaged her, who said a funny thing, and I could see the logic in it. It was about a theatre, which is near to here, Southend way, I think it was. And he said, "Oh, it's a great theatre. It's not used anymore, but sort of if you want to do a ghost hunt there, you should really try and do a ghost hunt there, But I don't believe anyone's died there." So he was coming from the point of view of, do you think when you do your investigations with ghosts that, because predominantly you go into woods and forests,
yeah,
do you have to go to, just by going into the woods and forests, is that enough to get the reactions you get? Or so a lot of people go to cemeteries too.
Yeah. Well, for example, the Cannock Chase, it's like 1,000 years old. And where I do the investigation is literally, it's round by Castle Ring. The majority of them are.
Right.
And I just think the history there, maybe hundreds of people have died, maybe only 2 or 3 people have died, maybe nobody's died, but the history there and how long Castle Ring has been there, something must haunt that place. That's my take on it. It's the same as a building to me as well. It's like if you go into a building, and if the building's knocked down or derelict, whichever, in that space where that house was, I think the energy is still there potentially.
Yeah. I was told by a guy once. He said, "You know, Phil, uh, uh, every foot of a forest in its time has been covered with blood from
Mm.
either wars, battles, um, even nefarious things like kind of, you get like gangsters, gangs, this, that, and the other who bury bodies, and they're still not known, they're still not found,
Yeah,
and they
yeah, I
bury them
get it.
in woods, don't they?
You can imagine. You can imagine, like back in the day, yeah, like the horse and cart and the no street lights, and the way you have to go is through Cannock Chase. I
Mm.
bet it's not very nice. I bet it. Like back in the
No,
day, a lot of robberies happened, a lot of murders happened, but which we probably will never know about.
no, no, that's right, isn't it? You know, um, yeah, yeah, uh, and also I find like, why do you think Cannock Chase is such a hotbed? I mean, it really is such a hotbed for paranormal activity and
Yeah,
cryptid activity. In your
uh,
hearts, you live near there. You go there more than anyone else I can imagine would go there because it's on your doorstep.
yeah.
So, why do you think it is such a hotbed?
Well, it was an old, like back in the day again. I think it was William the Conqueror. He started it off as a royal hunting ground back in the day.
Mm.
So you've got to think as well. I mean, I think there may have been, yeah, there's a camp, there's a World War I camp on there, what was training camp. So just the history of stuff, what happens. I think
Mm.
it's probably just repeating itself. Do you know what I mean? Like the history is just repeating itself with residual energy.
Yeah. Do you think it's on the loop then? Do you think that
Quite possible.
it a case that it's just sort of, if soldiers in a garrison just say, I'm slinging it out there, and they're walking along and they get ambushed and killed, maybe they don't know they've died because they died so quickly, pardon me,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they kind of go through the same march down that road, and people hundreds of years later see the
possibly,
spirits.
possibly.
But then if they're on a loop, what I don't understand is, how can we get, not all the while, but some of the time, interactions we can get kind of positive feedback either by K2s or EVPs, which are
Mm.
just so bizarre, Stuart, that they're
Yeah, yeah.
almost like
Completely
on
random,
cue.
isn't it? It's
Yeah,
completely
they're on.
random.
Yeah, but they're on cue. They're on
Yeah.
cue to whatever
Um,
we ask.
I don't know. Maybe it's the energy at the time
Mm,
around yourself, yourself, your energy yourself. Um,
mm,
the questions you're asking, maybe. I honestly feel this is one of the questions everybody wants to know. I guess.
mm.
Um,
Okay, all right. Let's. How can I ask? How did you get into this? Can you
okay.
explain to the people how it started for you?
I had a paranormal experience when I was about 7 or 8. Um, I was going to bed and I opened the door and I'm not going to tell you that at the moment. Sorry, there was a figure that was lying at the foot of my bed. So his feet were still on the floor, just bent at the knees, lying on the bed. Sat up, turned his head, looked at me. I can't remember his face. Can't remember his face to this day. But I remember what he was wearing. He was wearing a black suit. He was wearing black tie and a tall black hat. Scared the hell out of me. Ran downstairs, told my mum and dad. Came up. My mum came up with me. Uh, the imprint of somebody lying on the bed was there. Scared the hell out of me, being honest. A few weeks later, probably a month later, we was up my nan's. I was used to visit my nan every week or whenever we could. And my nan was sieving through some photos with my mum, and she was showing me these photos at the same time as playing with my cousin. And there was this guy, tall guy, and he was my nan's great granddad. Well, I say he was. He looks, but he was wearing what I saw that one night. 100%. So that's
Absolutely
what
sure
started.
of it.
Sorry.
You're sure that was absolutely. You recognised him in photos?
No, I didn't recognize. No, I can't remember his face. But I can remember that seeing this guy with a tall hat on, black. And my nan, who's sadly passed a few weeks back, so that's your that's her great granddad.
Okay.
Not my great granddad, her great granddad. So from there, it's sort of, I wouldn't say spiraled, but like I think I mentioned to you, there was a corn circle up by me.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I should have asked my mum and dad, to be honest, how old I was when that happened. It was in the 80s, definitely in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And out of nowhere, and we used to play up the fields, my mum and dad's. We all lived by fields. We used to play up the fields every single day. And this one time, I remember getting up and my mum and dad said, "There's a crop circle in the top field." I'm like, that, what? All right. So me and a few others went up to the field, played in it, played all day in it. Very strange, but to this, like I said to you, Phil, when we met up, I haven't had a chance to go to the library yet to find out any more information about it, but it's not on any internet. So either my family and I have gone through a parallel universe and there's nothing about it anymore, or I need to go to the library and dig some files out.
Yeah. And it was just one single circle, or was it one of these complicated ones?
One circle. Just went round, just kept going round and round and round until we got right to the middle. And it was all twisted into the middle, twisted together.
Okay. All right.
Crazy, that was, mate.
Yeah. See, I mean, it'd be nice if the landowner, the farmer, if he was like kind of generations of farmers and like you had a word with them and so, yes, my dad remembers that. Yeah. And he mowed it all down. I guess they mowed it down.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Actually, now you mention it, because it was a wheat field and there was a farm. Yes, it was a farm, but there was a wood farm next to it. And I know the guy, I know he's still alive, who used to run the wood farm. And I go past his house nearly once a week at least. So I could potentially knock on his door. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really old man now. I saw him actually. I saw him about 2-3 weeks ago, and I never said hello. But he's looking quite an old man now.
That might be an idea.
I used to play with his son. So yeah, we'll. I might do that, mate. I might do that.
Yeah, might be an idea.
Yeah.
And the people that you played with as well, the other your friends,
So the one, Kelvin, his name was, he went off and moved up Scotland. The young girl was called Dawn. I saw her a few years back at a gym. No idea where she is now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is a shame, isn't it? Sometimes it is a shame.
Yeah, to say it now, I've been in a crop circle. It may have been hoax, mate. Who knows? But back then, we were sat in the middle of a crop circle.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I guess you wouldn't have known it was a crop circle back then, would you?
Yeah,
Being
yeah, we did. Yeah, I can't remember how old I was. I'll have to find out and let you know. But
oh,
like,
you knew it was like
yeah,
a
yeah, remember.
possible UFO crop
Yeah,
circle.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
tell your mum or dad or?
They told me. They woke up one morning and I'm like, oh, there's a crop circle at the top of the field.
Oh, they told you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like appeared overnight. Yeah.
Right. Oh, blimey. Well, there's two other witnesses right there. Or there was two other witnesses right
But
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're still here. Yeah.
Okay. Blimey, that's not that bad then. That's okay.
Yeah, I know, but like, there's like I say, mate. I want to find out the information. I want to show people. I want to show it.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
newspaper clippings, if it even. I'm positive it should have been anyway, shouldn't it?
Well, I would have thought so. I know some of the. Oh, there was one in Berkshire, wasn't there? Wasn't it last year in Berkshire? It was quite a complicated one. Huge, big thing. I saw it on Facebook. Um, yeah, and that was one of these kind of. They all. Some of them look like to me like. Do you remember those years ago? You used to get like the old. You put up to your eyeball and it's a tube and it's a kaleidoscope.
Well,
And as you turn it, the beads at the end would make all different sort of geometric patterns. They always remind me of that a little bit, the shapes, you
no,
know.
well, this one, I know. I mean, there's some real complex ones, aren't there? But
Yeah.
this one, just a circle.
Mm.
I couldn't tell you how big it was. It was pretty big as me as a kid. It was pretty big.
Right. Yeah. Isn't it a damn shame, isn't it, at the time, just like we don't, kind of, if it happened now, we'd be like out there with loads of equipment.
Oh yes, yeah. And to be fair, I can't remember. I think I remember it being in the news, in the newspaper. So it's got to be somewhere in the library. Then you go through all the files and that.
Yeah, it's got to be in your local rag.
Got
The
to be.
local rag must have it. I think, yeah, you're right. The local library would have records going back that far. You might have to pay a little nominal fee to search it back then, for them to dig out the microfiche or whatever it is to look
Yeah,
at. But
that's it.
might be worth. That'd be one of those moments where you're looking through, find it, and you go, "Oh, brilliant! I found it! Look, there it is!"
Yeah,
Yeah,
too right. Yeah,
that'd
too
be
right.
excellent, wouldn't it? That'd be really good. Yeah. No, so that would be that'd be fantastic. So you had that, which is great. So you've had you had that uncanny. I would have said that was a hat man in the bedroom. When you first told me, and it was like a dark figure on the end of your bed and wearing a hat. And I thought,
I could still see his shirt. I could see the whiteness of his shirt, black tie.
right, okay.
I mean,
right.
so
Did you? Yeah, I just want to say, when you told your grandma, and she said, "Oh, that was her great grandfather." She show you a photo of him?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was flicking through photos. Well, my mom's mom, my nan, was flicking through photos at the time.
Okay. Right. All right. Okay. When did you start? When did you like? I guess you've always had paranormal stuff happen in and around your life throughout your life, have you?
Not really. No, I've always been into it. I've just never had the bottle to go out and do an investigation. I've never had the equipment. I mean, I still haven't got half the equipment you could get, but it's just something different.
No, what I mean is, I know for a fact that I have throughout my life, I have. That's why I documented everything in the podcast, because if anything happens to me, it's there documented. Throughout my life, I've always had odd to the point of very odd, unusual stuff happen. Paranormal, not normal stuff happen.
Okay.
stuff which you can't easily explain away. You know what I mean,
Okay.
Stu?
Yeah. Okay.
Um, uh, not necessarily been looking for it. Don't get me wrong. I've always enjoyed and been open to paranormal ghosts. I've always been open to, and I guess I have. If I've heard something in the house, I would automatically, if I knew all the doors and windows were shut, I'd automatically go, "Ah, what was that? Probably a ghost." You know what I mean? Could be. Um, Even now, in this house we live in, right? We live in a just like a little modest two-bed council house, and we've had two dogs die. Um, Not the ones we've got at the moment; they're getting old, but we still got our terriers. But we had a German Shepherd who was getting on. She was a cross, um, and a Patterdale cross Jack Russell. Uh, she had a bark on her. My God, that could break glass. It was awful. You know when dogs bark and they're really close to you and they like nearly take your eardrum out. She had a
Squeaky.
bark like that. Yeah, squeaky, like oh, raspy. You know, like nails down a chalkboard. That
Yeah.
kind of really. Ah, my word. Anyway, bless her heart, she passed away as well. But Molly, the German Shepherd, she was quite a big old lump. And I, I'll just explain it quickly. This is just a for example. We were looking for a bed, and all the bed frames that we were seeing in IKEA and all the rest of it. I was looking at them, and you know what? They're really quite expensive, and this is without the mattress. And we thought we'd rather spend a bit of money on a comfortable mattress, and I'll put together a bed frame out of wood. Do you know what I mean? I'll
Yeah.
kind of make a bed frame, but spend what we save on a really decent mattress because I think that works. In my head, it works out. You don't lie on the bed frame. It's just something to put the mattress on. So, anyway, I did that. Uh, I done it quite well. Pat myself on the shoulder. You know, well done, Phil. Done it quite well. Only problem was, I measured it a little bit too high. Right? So it's a little higher by about, I don't know, put it this way, I've got my feet dangling. My feet can't touch the floor on the edge of the bed at the moment. They can't touch the floor. So I am short, but you'd have no trouble. But you know, it's kind of is a wee bit high. So what I had to do for the dogs, because the dogs at the moment like to come up on the bed because they're pack animals. When it's a bit chilly, they feel secure sleeping on top of the bed covers, right up, usually across our legs.
Yeah.
So we can't move. You know, they like that. So I had to. They couldn't jump up because the bed was just slightly too high. So I had to make them a frame, like a little ramp with edges, and I covered it with a old pair of denim jeans. So it's got that, and anyway, I had that ramp for years. Yeah, knocked it up myself. It's got little ridges in it, so it's almost like a little staircase up to heaven. You know, it's like a little staircase, and it makes a very distinctive sound to it when the dogs jump off. And when Molly was alive, the big old German Shepherd, she took up all the bed. She thought she was a tiny little dog when she wasn't, and she'd jump off the bed, and with her fun, we're downstairs watching TV, you could always hear her bang, bang like that and jump off. And, you know, she's been dead, what, 4 years now. Do you know what? We still hear her jumping off the bed. We
I
still
believe
hear
that.
her.
Yeah, I believe that. My parents still see their dogs when I was a kid. The same
Mm.
house. They've lived in the same house. I'm sorry, they've lived in a couple of houses, but this is the house since when I was a kid. They've always had dogs.
Mm.
I guess it doesn't help if you got the ashes as well. My parents have the ashes in the house as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
my dad always feels Gemma, her name was, get up on top of the bed and lie next to him by his legs all the time.
Mm.
He's always telling me that.
Really?
All the time, mate. And like at the corner of his eye, you'll see her lying down on the sofa or just walking past the sofa. Many a time he's told me that. Many a time.
Yeah, yeah, we've seen that. Mrs. and I have seen that. Molly used to greedy thing. Always see, maybe just it's always on the peripheral. Why is it always on the peripheral vision? But you kind of like watching TV, and yeah, it's boring. Blah, blah, blah. Oh God, not this again. Oh, another ghost hunt. Here we go. And watching TV, and then just a corner of your eye, I just see like kind of this big, like the bum end of Molly going into the kitchen.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's just kind of weird. It's just what?
No. Like an apparition, the same colour. My dad's saying the same colour. It's Gemma, and I'm like, no way, that's crazy. They want me to actually. They want me to leave the camera recording overnight. Yeah, they do. They want me to do it, and they want me to go in and asking questions on the SB7, but I'm not doing that. They're up for it, but I just don't want to do that. It's too close, you know what I mean?
That's another question, right? Pardon the pun. Is it possible? Would you say is it possible? Yeah, to ask questions of an animal that was here now passed over and get positive response?
Can you? Sorry, mate, you was breaking up then. What was you saying?
Yeah,
sorry,
so we always aim towards like getting a response from a spirit which has passed over being a human spirit. Well, could we do the same? Do you think it's possible to do the same with an animal spirit?
What? Go and fetch?
No, not necessarily go fetch, but kind of well, put it this way, you put a bone or its favorite toy by a REM pod. If you're here, then go towards your favorite bone, and if it does, it'll set the REM pedal. REM pod, yeah, set that off.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that could. Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course. Energy's energy, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that's it. Why do you think that? And as an awkward question, I don't expect you to answer and know it because nobody knows it. All right.
I'll try.
Right. And we have gone over this when we met up, and it still gets me, and I think it gets a lot of people. Why do you think that we only see spirits which are relatively new to us, or new in a case of you never see caveman spirits, you never see or you never hear about very old spirits? Or
you normally see younger spirits, don't you? Like if you see an apparition of a person, as far as I'm aware, it's a younger version of themselves, isn't it? Of whoever's passed over. Yeah. I just think that maybe that was their best time of their life or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's
odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant question. I just don't know how to answer it.
No. I see. I think that it's. I think. See, John Keel, who wrote like the Mothman Prophecies and brilliant researcher, believed that it wasn't. Everything was linked, and they're part of the same origin, and I believe the same. And I think they're more ultra terrestrial. Ghosts are, and I think they're almost like a byproduct, a carbon form shadow of a stream of time which for some reason comes in, goes out. They may even see us as
Yeah.
being ghosts themselves. We look
Yeah.
like ghosts to them.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Sometimes when we see them, Stuart, and you will see some quite good footage on YouTube, TikTok, a lot of ghost hunts, and when they move, they kind of move in a not in a linear way. They kind of not in a continuous motion. They kind of like they're joggy. They start and they stop. They start and they stop. They kind of almost like a UFO does. That same type of start stop, as if it's being pulled, and it just disappears into nothing. It just goes, dissipates, and
Mm.
disappears. Is it a case that it doesn't actually it disappears in our eyes, but what it's actually doing is it's appearing in our time
So that's
and
sort
then
of,
just going through.
yeah. So that's sort of, it's in a different time. It's just literally split through our time for the split 2 seconds. You've seen that
Mm,
that
yeah, yeah,
something, and it's gone
yeah.
straight back to their time. Yeah, I believe that could happen. But yeah, why not?
You know, I mean, that's what I kind of think anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I'm starting to sort of head more towards now. To have a change of tack a little bit, you sent me through some photos of when you're in the woods, and because you're quite intrigued by the thought of a wild man, woodwoes
Yeah.
foot, and also a dogman
Mm.
being in the woods. Um, one of the photos you sent was of this,
Yeah. That's a good one, isn't it?
and yeah, that's a brilliant one. And that looks like it's just splintered and exploded. You know,
Yeah.
that's a really good photo. Very odd. Um, and then we have, yeah, that's more of a, that's a lower one, but it looks like that, you know, they look like they've been smacked.
Yeah. It looks like something's hit them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it really looks like something's hit it. And isn't it odd with these photos, like here, isn't it odd that they're kind of, they're not on the edges of the forest, they're in the
No, these aren't.
forest.
No. Yeah, these are in the forest.
So they're shielded to a certain extent. I
Yeah,
know stuff
I think so.
dies. I know stuff dies. You know, stuff gets old, stuff dies, and they're more susceptible to falling over because they're dead and the wood's dead because of maybe fungi or something. But these things keep cropping up an awful lot. And what I don't get is like with that one, it's quite high up. I mean, that's
Mm.
taller than me, isn't it? That's got to be taller than
It,
me. You know,
it was
right?
taller than me as well, and the first one was quite tall.
So
So that, yeah,
why
that
would
was quite
that
tall.
be the structurally on the tree? Why would that then be the weakest spot for it to break at? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, this is what we was talking about. It makes no sense at all. Yes, and like you
And
say, trees get rot.
yeah, and that's a fantastic one. That does not look like a natural break to me.
No, it doesn't.
That looks like a Woodwose or Bigfoot has hit that with
Looks like
some
something's
force.
been smashed against it
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
repeatedly. Oh, this one, mate. This is cool. You see that?
Oh my, that looks. Do you know what? If someone was gonna say, right, I want you to build me a fairy grotto gateway, that would be it.
Yeah. And guess what, mate?
What?
Camping there in the next few days.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh God, you're so brave. I don't know if
I'm
you're
not on my
brave.
own this time, mate. I'm not doing it on my
Oh,
own.
good, good. I'm gonna say because that honestly, I would say that is um a dogman a dogman structure, and that has been trained across. Definitely, that is some kind of. You see, Now, what I think about it is this, because I've taken loads and loads and loads of photos of places like that, and I think this. We're talking about crop circles.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, I think these structures, if you like, there's a similarity between crop circles and these structures that we see in the forest. When you find structures like this, very often you'll find, I don't know if the camera will pick this up, X's like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the X's are made with trees pulled up at the root and then laid one on top of the other like that in large, really large X's. You'll often find Y's, like an inverted Y shape as well.
Okay.
Um,
Right. So that particular forest where I took that, it was only, what day is it today?
mhm.
Friday. It was only yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was only yesterday. Just by there, I didn't send you these ones, but just on the floor to the right is.
Yeah,
Oh, I did send you them. Sorry, mate. That
yeah,
one there. That
yeah.
was that was like a triangle stood up, and there was another one where. Did I send you another one with a line of?
No, I
Uh,
don't think I got that one. No. But oh
no,
my
well,
word, what am I looking at there? What is that?
no idea, mate. I went up there. We went. Obviously, I'm going up there to check it out, make sure it's okay to camp up there,
Yeah,
and. I went up there, had a quick scout round, didn't see nothing. Noticed the other thing on the floor, which was it's like a big long branch, been snapped into little pieces. Well, little pieces, probably don't know how big they are,
yeah,
and and put into a line, all snapped. And this line of branches, or branch, sorry, and different sticks with it, pointed to this old. I'm not sure what tree it was now. Can't remember what tree it was, but it pointed to this old tree, this old looking tree. So I thought, I'm going to have a walk over there. So I had a walk over there, and it was like this tree. It was surrounded by other, like it was like in a circle. So this one tree was in the circle, and it was surrounded by all little trees of
mm.
birch trees. Very
You see,
strange, mate.
very strange. A lot of
Mm.
times when you see X's, they'll be made with like silver birch. There'll be
There
silver
was
birch.
so many silver birch, mate.
Mm.
So many silver birch up there.
Yeah, they'll be made. I've seen an awful lot of silver birch which are pulled up at the roots and made into X's and Y's. Um, well, I think they're more because I'll tell you why. Because when you see a crop circle and you see these elaborate crop circles, they are geometric shapes. They're
Mm.
made into geometric. You get a mirror, put it halfway through the crop circle, and it'll be the same equilaterally
Yeah.
on each side, right?
I can't understand how if people want to fake them, how are they going to fake that?
I know, I know.
I don't think you can
There's,
do
there's,
that.
there's, there's, there's. I know.
I suppose you could with the
There,
correct measurements.
well, no, a piece of board and two bits of string.
Mm.
That's what they would said. But then when they dived in a bit, because there was two people, wasn't there? Famously came out and said, "No, it was us. We did it. We did it with
Okay.
two bits of string and a board, and we stood on the board and just like spent all night, no torches because no one saw them, doing these elaborate geometric shapes in a massive, massive, massive pattern."
Oh,
Um,
well.
yeah, makes sense. I can see, yeah, definitely. I reckon if you've got 100 people organized, they still wouldn't do it in one night. No
No,
way.
I don't think so.
When we see these structures, when I see structures now in the woods, I've noticed more and more and more that they are geometric shapes. They are an awful lot. I take them to be exactly the same. Oh, there's a strong analogy between those and crop circles. Think of them like a 3D crop circle in a forest. And they all follow a pattern. They all follow the X's, the Y's, these TP structures.
Mm.
Um, Then you've got the tree breaks. The tree breaks are always about 5, 6, 7 foot up. And it's just not kids. Yes, kids do make some structures. They do. They do. But some of these structures that we see, which are so deep into the woods and forest,
Yes.
we have to think to ourselves, well, all right, if it's bushcraft for a start, they're gonna cover them up with ferns, leaves
Yes.
to make them waterproof. What's the point of staying in them overnight? You wouldn't stay in one overnight otherwise.
I think a lot of times they're a little too small, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very small.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to get on your, being in the UK, it's always muddy, Stuart. Always muddy. So the thing is, you want to keep dry, but to get into one of these things, you've got to get on your hands and knees and crawl into it. And by that time, your whole legs, your trousers, your knees, your arms, your sleeves are all muddy anyways before you got in. So it just doesn't trigger. It doesn't make any sense to me. Wow, good a camp there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're going to film it, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Oh, good. I'll be watching that. That. Once again, everybody, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll actually, I've got some banners. I've got some banners on it. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So make sure you like, subscribe, Paranormal Walks. Okay, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Because like I say, he's a really nice guy as well, aren't you? You are a nice guy. Oh, you're more than welcome, mate. I say it as I see it. And when I went up, he was my tour guide, and it
Mate,
took a lot of time.
So much more.
I know. It's just time, isn't it? It's time.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's time. To be honest with you, I meant to go into Cannock Chase. I told everyone, I bigged it all up. I'm going to go in Cannock Chase. I'm going to go at night. I'm going to go. One thing I forgot when I went up is I've got 3 battery banks, right? And what they are, they're Ryobi batteries, for tools. But I've got I've got an inverter adapter to stick on top, and then I've got another one with USB takeoffs. But these batteries are quite hardcore. They last an awful long time, so they keep my lights going. I was up there for 3 nights. And I flipping forgot them. I forgot. I could have kicked myself. So of course, I was charging my phone up every time, charging what I could up off the car USB, but I had to start the car and just keep it idling. And I was like, "You idiot! Why didn't you flip and bring the charging banks up? Even my portable charging banks, they're only like 10,000 milliamp, and they'll charge the phone once, but then they're gone."
Yeah.
And I was like, so, and to be honest with you, I'm not as brave as you. I will go out into a forest, and I have been out in the forest at night, but I always like to make sure that I've got enough power for lighting. Being in the dark in the forest, oh no. Oh,
I love that. But I mean, I went out the other week, didn't do any investigation, just went for the wild camp. But the previous wild camp before that, I took some gear with me to do an investigation, but I wasn't planning on doing a big investigation sort of thing. And so the guy on YouTube gives me a call. Just went to doing a pop-up investigation. I'm like, I'm wild camping. He's like, even better, rubbing his hands. I'm like, all right, okay. So we did it, and it was absolutely scary, mate. It was unreal. It was. I will not do another investigation on my own in a forest. No way.
Well, what happened? Tell me. What happened? Tell everyone.
So this guy, Ranger Paul X, he's a good lad. He's a good lad. Really nice guy. Where was I going? So what was I caught? What I thought I caught a lot of SB7 stuff coming through. This guy's name came through an awful lot. which I haven't actually put in the video because some of it was quite not very nice towards the guy. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Could you
I mean,
explain what?
I showed him the clip, and he was like, "I prefer if you didn't." So I was like, "No problem, no problem." So I took that out.
Was it rude, or was it rude, or was it threatening? Rude or threatening?
It was quite rude. Quite rude. I
Okay.
wouldn't say it to somebody.
Right.
Yeah. So I played some cat balls out. No cat balls went off for the night. I heard laughing. It wasn't caught up on any audio, which I don't think anybody could hear that apart from me. It sounded like it was 30, 40 yards away. And there was no paths where I am. The only path is there what I've made. And I'm asking them, can you hear that? And then nobody could hear it. And then the SB7 says, what I interpret, what it says, turn around. So I pick up my camera, turn around. And then it says again, be wary. And this is what I think it says, mate. And then all of a sudden something come down from the tree, and I have no idea what it is. I showed you that footage, I think.
Yeah, you did.
I've no idea what that is. But like I said to you, I class that as a phantom, as a Scooby-Doo phantom.
Yeah, we had a difference there, didn't we? I don't.
Yeah.
I think that was possibly a Dogman more. What it was, guys, was Stuart Pan. It was night, very little light. Nighttime, very little light. Think of a group of trees. There was a group of trees in front of them, and they didn't see. It seemed to be that they genuinely didn't see anything in front of them, but Stuart was panning the camera across. As he did, there was one part of this tree which seemed to expand out, and this dark shadow came out, and it looked like a figure, didn't it, Stu?
I think it looks, like I say, like a phantom, like something like a Scooby-Doo. I really do. Scooby-Doo. That's what I can.
Yeah.
What I interpret it as.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a sheet, like a white sheet coming across, falling.
There was another one which scared. If anyone knows about Cannock Chase, and if you're watching this, the chances are you're into the paranormal. Okay. And I'll just get comments up. Oh, hello, Kate. John P. Adventures. Hello. Oh, Lord of Ord. Yeah. How you doing, Mike? Yeah, Mike. Kerry. Hello, Kerry. Kerry from Seventh Sanctum. She said hello, Stu.
Hello.
Hi, Kerry. Nicole Cassell. Yeah, how you doing, Nicole? Hello. So I should have put comments up. Let me just right, get that up. Yeah. Got that one. How you doing, Mike? He's really good as well. Mike from really clever guy. Really clever guy. And he had a encounter with a Bigfoot. But with Mike from Loosh Farm, fantastic guy because he's so self-analytical. Yeah. So he's kind of like he beats himself up before anyone else has a chance to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He kind of like So he kind of like it's very difficult to try and pull the rug from under his feet because he's already done it. And it is he's really quite he's really quite on the ball. These cryptids, that brings me on to you and cryptids. See, I think that you what you're seeing a lot of evidence and evidencing of cryptids. I did look through your videos, and there's another one that I ashamedly did I kind of like done a screen record on, because I wanted to show this one to people.
Okay,
Okay,
right.
hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm going to put it on, and then I'm going to let you explain what happened to lead up to it. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. That's the trail we needed.
Right.
Turn it off. Right. Okay. I'm going to play it again in a minute, but can you explain to people what that was all about?
So I'd been invited out with another team, ghost investigation team, up to the German Boer Cemetery. Great bunch of lads. Paranormal, Midlands Paranormal, Dark Midlands Paranormal. I can't remember the names. I'm so sorry. And we did some calling out in the cemetery itself. I think we may have had a little bit of evidence. I can't remember what we got, but we thought, let's go for the outskirts. So we walked around the outskirts, up into the forest. For a while, we was there for a while, a good couple of hours, I think. I actually caught something else while I was up there, but anyway, so we're walking. I caught a couple of things while on that same night. I think it was just packing up. I think that one was just packing up, and somebody farts, and it's like it's a running joke with that team, and they say to me, "Stu, you'll have loads more editing to do." I'm like, "Yeah, no worries." And then I hear, well, I didn't hear until I checked out the footage of what sounds to me like a pig snort.
Okay.
It
Sounds like a pig. It sounds like a pig snort to me as well. Now, a lot of the there's a lot of people on here who won't know of the cryptid known as pigmen. Because you're a local, and because you told me the story, this story is, I get it. Okay, that it is a part myth, could be story, but that's a local legend. But still, it's another type of cryptid that lives in Cannock Chase, and I haven't heard of it in any other forest or in any other country. If it does, and this strikes a chord with you, let us know in the comments, because I'd love to know. It's called the Pigmen. I'm going to pass it over to Stuart just to explain what the. Do you mind, Stuart, just to explain to people?
No, I'll try my best.
Okay.
So the story was back in the day that the old Pie Green Tower. Well, the Pie Green Tower is a communications from the Cold War, and the rumor was, or the legend was, that a lady was kidnapped by the military. They inseminated pig sperm into this lady. The lady then gave birth to this crazy child, this pig child. The lady then died, and the pig boy escaped, and that's sort of it, to be honest, mate.
Okay.
Or the military let the pig boy out of a Cannock Chase. It's something along them lines.
Right. People have, correct me if I'm wrong, but people who've done investigations into this forest have come across a humanoid figure with a pig type face, and that is the truth. So it has sort of, if it, I'm not sure if it's the chicken and the egg, whether or not they've kind of seen this being. It has been seen. There's accounts of it. And it is so odd. It's not the kind of thing that you would automatically come up with. Is, you know, you wouldn't say, oh yeah, so because it's so ludicrous, so unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can think of a million of one things of saying that A Dogman, for instance, yes, yeah, because it's oh really, no, really, God, blimey, yeah, because it automatically you think werewolf, and it kind of, yeah, in a way you kind of, yeah, I can see that, uh, but a pig,
Mm.
so it's kind of so ludicrous, but people have seen it. Okay, there was accounts of it, and this I'm going to play it again, and you before I do, but none of you other team that night made that noise. They
No.
farted, made a fighting sound, but this grunting noise that I'm going to play
Yeah.
now, none of the other
Yeah.
team made it.
Yeah. No.
See, incredible. Yeah, odd, isn't it? I love that place.
Yeah, that's where that. Sorry, Phil. That's where we was walking, and that's where the devastation was. That's where that was. That's where I caught that. Just
Yeah,
by the German cemetery.
yeah, yeah.
Also on the same night, I think it was the same night. I'm just sat down. I've just got the camera stood still, and this white flashing light is in the trees. So directly in front of me is where we walked. There's no lights. There's no lights in there. You just saw it. I mean, yeah, all right. Somebody could be watching us, but this light just suddenly appeared. It just started getting brighter and brighter and brighter. Didn't notice it on the night, and then I panned away.
Right.
So I mean,
Part.
I've put the video as a portal in Cannock Chase, but
Oh, I saw that one.
yeah, and there's another one at the same place as well.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
something that let me in, let me through, or something along them lines on the
yeah.
EVP. Sorry, not EVP. That's on just on the recording.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that light was a bit odd, but that wasn't a car headlight, was it?
No, it's a completely
'Cause,
different one.
sometimes
So what, you know where we walked down back towards the path where we was walking. We walked
uh,
down. We saw that square.
yes, I know
Yeah,
where we were. Yeah.
that's where the light was coming
Oh,
from.
I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nowhere near the road then. Yeah,
No.
oh, got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, up a couple of hundred yards up the way, there is the German cemetery, and yes, it has got lights, but where that light was coming from, there's no lights coming from. There's no lights there.
No.
It's just forest.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, it's just forest. Now I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a creepy little wood, that one as well.
Very smart wood. Yeah.
Yeah, very creepy little place, that one. Yeah. Yeah, we found a few like things there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. German cemetery went, and German cemetery, for anyone who doesn't know, is it's where the prisoner of war, the Germans stationed, not stationed over here, but kept over here in prisoner of war camps. When they died, they were buried in the German cemetery. And there's what, 5,000, isn't there, Stuart? There,
Yeah. Just under 5,000, I think.
just under 5,000 graves. And it's kind of like any ghost hunter worth his metal always goes there, don't they? They kind of like at night always
Got
go
the
there and do
go-to, isn't it?
EVP sessions. Yeah, it's like a. But we got a few little things just asking out, or EVP and on recordings, but to be honest with you, nothing major was it. But we got a few little things. Well, what was that? Not too sure. We didn't hear that, but it heard it on the recording. But but then also kind of, in a way, I think these things are very much in a way tricksters, aren't they? They like to play. They like to kind of, get you unawares. The amount of times when I've been in cemeteries, and it's not until I'm about to leave. Always, when I think, oh, haven't caught anything. Oh God, it's so boring. Nothing ever happens. And I go to pack up, go to leave. Boom! That's when I get like a voice, but no one's there. And I think, what the hell's that? And then it starts kicking off. It's almost like it's kind of thinking to herself, hang on a minute, before you go, I am here. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's odd. All right. I'll tell you what then. I'm gonna wrap this up, Stu.
Okay,
Because time's getting on. I'm gonna boy and I've got to get up for work. What I'm gonna do, when you do your camp at that place, and you do your video, maybe if it's okay, if anything happens, even if it doesn't really, but I think it is going to kick off. I think something's going to kick off there.
These woods are apparently notorious for witchcraft and devil worship.
Oh, well, there you go then.
So hopefully,
fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, let's hope it's not going to be like Blair Witch, where we just see you in the corner of some abandoned building, facing the wall.
That's scary, mate. That is. Just to quickly go back to where we're camping, there were so many. I thought I sent you more, mate. There was so many archways of trees. There was loads, mate. When I go back, I'll take the pictures, the extra pictures. I thought I took them, but I thought I sent them to you. No, it's one before that one. There's one before that.
All right, I've got that one.
No, I haven't. I thought I forwarded you, but
I've got
physically
that one.
Walk. No, it's like a little archway, and you physically have to walk through this archway to get to there where you are there.
Right. Oh, you got to walk through an archway to get to that place.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Just out of interest, how long would it take? Oh, how accessible is that, Stuart? Is it on a path? Is it off path?
So
do you have to go walk through stinging nettles?
No, it's off a path, but it's quite there's some sort of path there, if you know what I mean. It's not a rough path. It's okay.
Right. Okay. No, thank you for being honest. Honest. It's good to know that, because I know something about Stuart, because I've been out with him, and that is if he can help it, Stuart is he is so genuinely interested in the paranormal. He will, and he's quite a tall guy. He's got massive long legs. He will stride, and I'm like some kind of oompa loompa behind him. And I've seen him stride off of the path and just go in amongst brambles, nettles, all kinds of rubbish, striding off, creating his own path. Which is a good thing to do, isn't it? It's a good thing to do, really.
Nobody's following you, mate, through a load of brambles.
I just I take little baby steps, in case like a little twig gets me or a little thorn hits me or something like that. Yeah, you're just striding off. Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's not for having my wounds. I've had so many spikes in me and everything all the time, to be honest, mate.
I did find it funny on that. I done that video when I met up with Stuart, and I done a video, and we got to this, like, it wasn't excessively high, but it was a slippery bank, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you turned around to me, because I've got a limp leg and I'm waiting on a hip hop, right? And you said, bless your heart, you said, you're going to be all right with this, Phil? And I said, yeah, I think so, Stuart. And the next minute, you go up the slope and see you hurtle yourself back, slipping. I thought you were going to fall on me. I thought, oh my God, here we go. And then I went up another direction. I said, don't worry, Stuart. This is how inept I am. Don't worry, Stuart. I think I found an easier way. Went up that way, flat on my face. Yeah, but so yeah, I think I think we're Sherpa 10 sings. We're not. No.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a go. That's the main thing.
Go give it a go.
Yeah. Would you come back on again? After you go on this, if you survive it. If not, just send the footage.
Yeah, you've got the footage. You've got the rights to the footage.
Yeah, if that's all right, would you mind?
Yes,
Coming back and
Dave.
giving us
I'm
an
going to
update.
try and I'm going to try and record as much as I can. I've actually got to purchase a was it in trial cams where you put them on the trees and leave it.
Yeah,
I'm getting one of them
yeah.
because where we're camping, it's quite spooky, mate. It's really spooky.
See, I'm in
Yeah.
two minds about trail cams. I
Oh
think it's a
yeah.
good idea to get one. It's a good idea to get one. But I'm in two minds, only because I think that with Bigfoot and Dogman especially, I think they can see. I'm sure they can see infrared. I'm
Oh,
positive they can. I think the spectrum of light they can see involves taking in infrared,
why not?
because
Yeah.
there's so many thousands, especially in the States, so many thousands of trail cams, thousands of them everywhere. And uh, um, you do get pictures on trail cams, of dogmen, cryptids, and stuff. But but they're always in the same pose, as if they're drifting past, and they got that
Yeah, I don't
kind
want
of
that one,
pose
mate.
like that.
I want the thing ripping a tree down or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, what I
That'd be
mean.
good. Yeah, but no, trail cam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it a go. It's worth a go, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's worth a
yeah,
go. You know. Um, uh, I bought a new toy recently. I haven't used it yet. I've got to. I have got to. I've got to go out and do a bit of a nighttime one myself. I got a thermal camera.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I spoke to a mate of mine, MT Paranormal, Mike.
Yeah, I've subbed to him. I think he's subbed to me as well.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He knows
Yeah,
his stuff. The
yeah.
gear he's got, he knows his stuff. And uh, he's a really good spirit talker, which I've got now. And he said, because the camera guy that he's with usually, he's got his old thermal camera, which is a handheld one. But Mike has got one that goes into the bottom of the camera, his phone, and
Oh,
it
okay.
converts his phone into a thermal camera. So I've got one of those because we had an Amazon deal day, didn't we? So I thought, well, I'd take
Right.
advantage of it, and it was a lot cheaper. And I got one of these Warehouse X where the box is damaged. The unit's okay, it's just the box is damaged, but you get like another 50 quid off it. So I thought, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll get
too
one.
right. Too
Yeah,
right.
so I don't care. I don't care about the box, do I? So yeah, I'm going to trial that. I'm going to try the thermal camera, because there's a wood I'd like to go back to, not very far away from where I am here, which I know there is. I caught it on video before now. I know there's a Type 2 Dogman there. So
I
I
don't
might
understand
check
the
there.
types. When you say type 2, what does that mean?
Right. Okay. Type 1 Dogman is a quadrupedal
Right.
Dogman, which is often seen, hangs around cemeteries,
Okay.
goes by the name, it's been given a name many years ago of Old Shook or Old Stinker. Usually has red eyes. I think the eyes change color depending on the mood, but
All
anyway,
right.
it usually has red glowing eyes. You often find it digging. It will dig near old mounds or old burial sites. It will dig in the ground. But yeah, it's quadrupedal, like a very large black dog. Very pointy ears, like a German Shepherd. Very pointy ears, glowing eyes, and long muzzle, brilliant white teeth. I caught one on video once. Well, I caught one on video, took photos of it. It was by a tree, just sitting to the left hand side of a tree, sitting looking at me and my dogs as we were walking by, because my
Did you
dogs went off there.
did your dogs pick up?
Yeah,
Oh right.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they went off their handle. They just went,
Yeah.
because they're being terriers as well. They think they can take the world on.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. Yeah.
only little, but they like kind of, Yeah, they'll go up to Rottweiler, but so they went Garrity, which is a great indicator for me. I looked across, didn't see anything at first. Uh, and it wasn't until I looked over the footage, like everything else, not until afterwards. For some reason, a lot of times my eyesight is blind to it. I cannot see it at the time. Very rarely. It's only when I look back on footage and I think,
Yeah.
crikey, Riley,
Yeah.
it's a type 1 Dogman. I'm like, what? So but yeah, very sticky out ears, black.
Mm.
Throw blacks to it, it sucks light in. It's
Okay.
black. Yeah, really black. The second time I saw one of those was at Camberwell Cemetery, and that one morphed out. It morphed out of existence. It kind of like cloaked out like a predator.
Oh wow.
Type 2 is which I think is your pigmen.
Oh okay. Right. Okay.
Okay, so type 2 is quadrupedal normally when it runs, but can be bipedal. It can stand up, look around. Quite ugly looking, flat, no muzzle, very flat face. Almost looks like a gorilla face. Very wide, huge, ugly. Thick set, broad, short, um, uh, but very, very heavy and thick set. Furry, you know, um, stinks. That one
Mm.
smells. Yeah, that one really smells. I think that is your Cannock Chase pigman, personally. But, you know,
Okay.
there we go. Um, the type 3 Dogman, that is the one that most people know about. And that is the one which is bipedal, predominantly. um, very chiseled, uh, very almost when you see illustrations of it and pictures of it where it's been caught, it looks like Anubis,
All right.
the
Okay. Yeah.
Greek, the
Yeah.
Greek that comes and weighs the feather of matter against the soul of the dead and takes the dead across the water. Yeah, very large, tall. Uh, can be anywhere up to, I believe, 12 foot tall, 10, 12 foot tall for an alpha male. Um, uh, they will warn you off, but they are really quite aggressive. Type
Wow.
twos aren't that aggressive. They're not that aggressive. I've been close to a type 2. Not
Wow.
shaking hands, but I've been close. I've videoed that close. I've videoed it, but um, the type 3, the Anubis type, with the chiseled diamond-shaped body, strong, muscular, quick, athletic, just boom, almost like a super soldier. You can
Mm.
like almost think like super soldiers. Talons are just long. Its muzzle and its teeth were just like huge. Its ears pointy. Once again, usually black to black silver. Their eyes change color, usually amber. So yellow amber eyes is normally the color they project. They can also project red, but that's normally the type 1 dog man, the quadrupedal, the big dog on all fours by the cemetery. It's usually amber color, very bright, not reflective brights to it. It emanates light. So
Mm.
if you
Yeah.
see, like, you think to yourself, oh, there's a light in the woods, and you think, oh, UFO or portal, just bear in mind, not necessarily. It could be not eye shine. It looks like eye shine, but it emanates light. Um, uh, you also get feelings. I get feelings. I don't know if you get feelings of being watched. Do you get feelings of being
Yeah.
watched?
All the time at Cannock Chase, day and night. More so
Mm.
at night. More so. But yeah, all the time. Cannock Chase is
Because
notorious for that.
Yeah, yeah. When I was there, absolutely. I went
Mm.
out during the daytime. I didn't load the videos up because, to be honest with you, I didn't really catch anything. I was just videoing with whatever battery I'd left, and beautiful, thick, lush forest, beautiful,
Yeah, it
especially
is.
from here. And I went up a path which takes you to a house. There's a house, big, large house in the middle of the forest, if you like. Beautiful. Must be a really rich person's house. Went past that, and went up and said hello to some people riding a horse. There was two girls riding a horse past me. They must have thought, what a weirdo with his camera. But um, I did get the feeling that I was being watched, and that was daytime. Sun was shining, beautiful. But it, and I tell you where I was getting watched from. There's a steep slope of trees banking up, and it was there when I was there last year. Same slope, same bank, same trees, where I had a, well, I think a Bigfoot throw something at me, and it was up that bank, and I could have. There's a phenomenon called scopasepia. Scopasepia is where we have that thought of being watched, but there is some relevance to it. We know, our brain automatically knows when we're being watched by something.
Yeah.
So, they teach you in the special forces. I've never been special forces. I always have flat feet, but that, they, if you're going to ambush anyone, then you kind of like, and they're close by and they're walking by, the enemy are, always stare at the floor. Don't stare at them. If you stare at them, they will know you're looking and look straight at you wherever you're hiding.
Oh, right. Okay.
Scopus, yeah. Google it. Scopasepia. It's a
Yeah.
strange.
Well.
We almost know. We almost know. And I knew I was being watched. I just, when I was there, I just knew I was being watched. I just, something up that slope. Something up that slope. I've got to go back there at some point at night time. I have to.
So
When I
that bit of footage where it sounds like footsteps coming towards me on that path, it's. I've told the missus so many times. I felt like I was being watched. Nowhere else around the castle ring, like the ring itself, just on the path where I heard footsteps. Not even documented. I'm taking the dog a walk, and I've turned around because I can feel somebody there. I can feel somebody there, and nobody's there. It's a really uneasy feeling.
Odd, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it odd? It's it. And yet I can go at night into um. This is a funny one. I can go in night, and there's a wood which is near Epping Forest, where I am. Yeah. So, and Epping Forest is huge. It's a big wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big forest. It's a big forest. It's not, And I can go in there quite happily. Quite happily. There's parts of it I'll go in quite happily, but there's other parts of it where, if I go in, I'll get that same feeling you get. I don't know what it is, but there's parts of it where I've tried going in, and it's just trees.
Yeah.
It's no different really than the part where I was fine, not half a mile away.
Yeah.
But I go into this other section and I get that feeling I'm being watched, and there's something wrong there. There's something wrong. And that is where I want to go back there. Um, I did tell a friend of mine who had a encounter there. It's by a little lake, a pond, and this pond is uh, famous because it's called the Suicide Pond, and
Where's
lots
this?
of people. Epping Forest,
Oh, Epping Forest, right? Okay, yeah, great.
yeah, and it's there's a small pond, beautiful it is, and yeah, it's a lot of people have committed suicide in that pond, and they talk about that when you go to this place, and I've been there, you get overcome with a feeling of depression, sadness, um, melancholy, just overcome feelings like that. Um, uh, And when I go there, bugger me, I get a strange feeling. I can't say I'm overcome with sadness. I feel sorry for the people that have drowned. Obviously, I'm not just saying that. I do, because it's
But
kind of it's the same ward. When you look down, you think to yourself, God, someone's drowned in there. But there is a feeling there of um it's wrong. It's something that doesn't belong there. There's a feeling that something doesn't belong there.
so,
That's what I get.
do you think people may have committed suicide because something's pulling them into the water?
Yeah, could be a siren,
Mm.
maybe in there. Could be a siren. Could be uh, could be a witch.
It
Could
could
be
be an entity saying, "Come this way, come this way,"
yeah,
top your sort of thing.
yeah. Could well be.
Yeah,
And they're able to charm. They charm the people into drowning. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So that's you know, got John P. Adventures, hello mate, said, I do get eerie parts of the woods feeling in my hikes. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly the same. We do as
But
well, mate.
is that daytime or nighttime, or is it both?
Hmm. Yeah, so is it both or because I think John P. Adventures, I think he's in France, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh but correct me if I'm wrong. I think you are, John. But yeah, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's like when we talk about these structures we find, and we talk about some of the, I call them geometric shapes now, but when we talk, they don't change no matter where you go. You could be in France, could be in Canada, could be in America, could be in Scotland, could be in Wales. Doesn't matter. They'll always be the same. They'll
mm,
always be the same type. The bent over branches,
mm.
the structures are the same. They're all the same build. And um, another thing to look out for: if you see a teepee, like a teepee structure, have a look, see if the wood inside, facing inside, see if that is burnt, almost like to charcoal.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
but
have a look.
the ground shouldn't be. You know, especially near old trees. Yeah, no, John P. Honestly, yeah, I think trees they definitely got souls as well.
They've definitely got some sort of energy, haven't they?
Mm, yeah. Well, I was close. I wouldn't want to walk it though, John. But Portugal, okay, yeah. France, Portugal, yeah, that's not too bad, I suppose. But I wouldn't want to walk it. Yeah. So no, it's an odd one. It's an odd one, but
But it's a fact, though, like you say, you find structures and you find shapes in forests what look
yeah,
like a shape in every forest,
yeah,
every bit of wood. You know what I mean?
yeah. Uh, it's just too coincidental, isn't it?
Mm.
That kids in all these different countries and places are running around
Yeah,
bending branches over and making stick teepees and shelters which offer no shelter.
yeah, and it's like when we see the squares of wood, like the twigs made in squares, they're not always in the open. They're covered up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like you say, when we see that balloon, how has that balloon, what burst, got so low on that tree? How has it got to the lowest part of the tree?
yeah,
Do you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it should be pierced at the top and stop at the top,
yes,
or halfway
exactly.
down at least. Not
Mm,
literally 8 foot up.
no, no, it's not. It wouldn't be the weakest part of the tree. I mean, the weakest part of a tree, if it's gonna die, it's going to be the ball of the tree, because no matter what, the ball of the tree in the ground, um, the roots die off and it's top heavy. So if it's gonna go, it's gonna go over. And the ball of the tree usually is ejected out of the dirt and
Yeah.
just faces up.
Yeah.
That's normally the way it happens with an old tree. But these things, no, it's like you say, it's like 7, 8 foot up, just snapped off. It's like what? And snapped in such a way, it's like an explosion. You know. um, John P said, "Yeah, I live close to sea, so wood's not very thick, but close by. Yeah, yeah. As I say, I mean, I think Stu will agree with me. It doesn't matter really so much. It doesn't have to be the thickest of woods you go in. There's local woods to me, which is close to a town, and I often see stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep an eye out. You know, that's what I'd suggest to people. Just keep an eye out and make a log of it. And if you don't mind, just send us a log and you know, roughly where it is, and uh, you know, it'd be quite useful, really. It'll be geotagging, you know, where these things are. Because another thing, maybe there is almost like um, uh, crop circle, or maybe there's a system to them. I would love to know if all of these structures, and you looked at an ordnance survey map and you pinpointed them with red flags, would they make a certain pattern?
Ah,
Would
that's a
they?
good point. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
So, you
Like on
know,
a bigger, on a larger scale.
on a larger scale,
Yeah, that's a good point.
would they line up? Would they spell out something?
Would
Would
they go
they,
by the line? Are they on top of ley lines?
are they on top of ley lines? You know, so
Oh,
you know, it might be an idea for, you know, if you're listening to this and you do see these structures, it doesn't matter where you are, but just maybe take a photo and a kind of like a location. Um, maybe my 3 words. Use that, my 3 words, because then that keeps you anonymity as well. Because we don't want to know where everyone lives. That's fine. So that keeps your anonymity. My 3 words, and where the structure is in a photograph. And maybe, yeah, we could sort of start building up a little
mhm,
map of where these things are, and that might give an indication of what the hell it is that's
mhm.
happening out there.
A good idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're okay, I'm going to wrap this up, Stu.
Okay, mate. Yeah.
And yeah, I think after your next adventure, I think 2 things. We'll have a catch up with you after your next adventure with the witchcraft. Yeah, hopefully you survive, and that's great.
Mate,
And
please,
at the same
fingers
time,
crossed.
fingers crossed. Yes, fingers crossed, and little stick people hanging up in the
Oh,
trees.
God.
Let's. A little, wouldn't it be funny, honestly, if you woke up and there'd be a pile of rocks outside your tent? Oh my word! Yeah,
Burn
let's
the
not think
tent.
about
Burn the tent.
it. And what I'll do by that time as well, I would have done a couple of trips out at night with the thermal imager, and we can sort of chuck those into the mix, and yeah, we can sort of have a catch up and see what happens, see
Yeah,
what we
no,
come
that'd
up
be
with.
really good. Yeah.
All right, Stu, if you want to mention your YouTube and your Facebook or any other.
Yeah, my YouTube is Paranormal Walks. I'm a lone wannabe paranormal investigator. I'm fairly new to the scene, but I've had a few experiences. And my Facebook group is Paranormal Walks. Yeah, come along, join the community.
Lovely. Yeah, lovely. And I know I urge people honestly to go and have a little look at both his YouTube and his Facebook. As I say, the YouTube's private, but you know, uh, just go have a look, and I'm sure that you know you'll be bang on it. Get membership, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, thank you.
Obviously, it's free. Yep, it's free. But it's a great group of people. So yeah, and for me, Dogman TP Hunting, guess you guessed that. And thank you very much for the time. And
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, Stuart. I really appreciate that, and
No
hope
worries,
everyone
mate.
has a good night or good day wherever you are.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, mate.
Peace, mate.
Bye bye. All right, lovely guy, and yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate that. And again, if you have any images that you want to let us know about, TP structures, anything like that, then please do so. That'd be great. Thank you.